and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this special broadcast of The Showdown. This is the third episode. After traveling to Delhi and Bengaluru, we are now in our city of Mumbai, Amchi, Mumbai. And the conversation today is going to be about the roadmap and the vision that the political parties who are asking for our votes have for us, the voters. The manifestos of both the BJP and the Congress party are out. We've gone through them in detail. We've had conversations about it. But today we want to further ask them, explain to us your vision. And we're going to tell them what is missing from their manifesto, what should be part of their vision, which is where our audience, our voter comes in. Let me also introduce you to our guests. Let's start from my left, Sanjay Jha, representing the Congress party. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Atul Bhatkalkar of the BJP, thank you for joining us. Good to have you. And on the right side are the citizen voices who represent the voters, Mr. Prahlad Kakkad and Mr. Shailesh Gandhi. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's get this started with round one, which is the opening salvo. And let's begin with you, Mr. Bhatkalkar. Tell us, we've gone through your manifesto, but your opening remarks in 2 minutes, what is the vision of the BJP for India for next 5 years?
BJP's vision for India is a strong, prosperous and developed India. We want to call India not developing nation, but in next 5 years, it should be called Develop India. That is our vision. And if you go through our track record of last 5 years, in last 5 years, inflation is totally under control. Fiscal deficit, which was in UPA era more than 5%, now it is under totally control. And so GST, IBC, these are the bold reforms, including demonetization. And so now Indian economy is on fire path. And so in next 5 years, we will come to, after coming to power, we will make India fully developed nation.
All right. So that's the opening remark from the BJP. We will make India a fully developed nation, finish the work that you started in the first 5 years. Sanjay Jha, to the Congress party, what is your challenging vision? How is it better than the BJP?
A manifesto is the vision map of a political party, and you, the viewer, have a right to ask questions. Now, what is our story? Simple. We are going to create jobs. We are going to have a separate ministry for jobs. India is a young country. The demographic dividend has been destroyed over the last 5 years. So we are going to guarantee you jobs of minimum 20 lakhs. These are jobs that should have been filled up in the last 3 years, which were not done. And we are guaranteeing it that within a period of 1 year, 20 lakh jobs will be filled up. We will also provide at the gram level, which is at the gram panchayat level, 10 lakh jobs where we believe there is a fantastic scope to make a difference to the rural sector. I'm adding one more point. Corporates will be incentivized by being charged a lower tax rate if they employ more people. The MSME sector is going to be defined not just by how much your turnover is, but by how many people you employ. So these are all job-friendly initiatives. The other big issue for India is farmer distress. And where farmers are concerned, this has been a serious problem. Farmer suicides have risen up considerably under Mr. Modi. And what we are saying is we'll have a separate Kisan budget. Manrega will go up from 100 to 150 days. And then you have this very strong Nyay scheme, Nyuntam Aay scheme. We are going to guarantee everybody who is below the poverty line, that is 20% of India, we are going to guarantee them a minimum of 72,000 rupees a year. That's 6,000 rupees a month. And this is compared to BJP, which is giving 6,000 a year.
Right.
We are giving 12 times more. And just one last point. We are also going to make sure that where the Kisan is concerned, there will be what we call as the abolition of the APMC, so that farmers can sell directly to the consumers.
You've heard the political parties, and this is their pitch. So Shailesh Gandhi, what would you want as a voter that's missing here?
I see something very important missing in the manifestos of both the leading political parties, and therefore I am a little worried. Do they even understand what India is and what Indian citizen needs? Promises are made, various programs are laid out, etc. What is missing is good governance, transparent governance, and accountable governance. And this is something on which none of these manifestos talks. What the basic problem for the average citizen is delivery of services, delivery of, in fact, even respect. If one citizen writes to a government, there is no response. There are laws of this in Maharashtra as well as the central government which are not followed. And nobody even mentions it. They don't even think it worthwhile to mention this. If we get transparent, accountable government, and by accountable I mean if I write a letter to a government, I must get a response. Even this basic courtesy is lacking in governments, both of the Congress as well as the BJP and all of the parties in the country. This is not to single out a particular political party, but none of them follows it. I would seek at this stage a commitment that nobody will touch the RTI Act and that transparency will become better. Also, most government departments have SAPs and computerized accounting systems and systems like that. All of these should be made open to the citizens, barring some things which may be exempt, which is not happening. So we have our RTI regime for which citizens are finding increasingly greater and greater resistance from the political parties. And this is not, again, to do with any particular political party. This is to do with all. And in terms of amendments to the RTI Act, the Congress, within 6 months of bringing the law, wanted to amend it. Citizen resistance made them stop. BJP also has been talking of it. So both parties, I find, are really not in favor of transparency for citizens. They all like to talk about it, but they really don't commit it.
All right. Mr. Prahlad Kakkar, what do you think of the vision that the two parties have presented through their manifestos, and today the panelists are also echoing that?
Today, the people of this country are not in with any party. They are for themselves today. And they feel that they are actually for themselves. And until they do something about it, no political party can actually address the people on a popular level. Look at all the track records. I mean, you look at the Congress track record, it's abysmal. Whatever they promise you right now, I mean, you have to take with a pinch of salt. Because the whole agriculture problem actually started with the fact that the political party that was longest in power decided that people in cities would not be affected by the rise of prices of vegetables. So they were always kept at a certain ceiling at the cost of the farmer. He never got a fair price for his vegetables. Today, when there's a surplus, they're lying on the road. We have had 40 years to build infrastructure to actually put cold storages so that surplus crop could be actually kept for the time when there was no surplus crop, so that it would be attempt the market. If Amul can do it, why can't the government? After all, what is Amul? It's a cooperative society of the people, of the farmers. They collect the milk during flush season, they spray dry it, they separate it, and when the lean season comes in, when there's a milk shortage, they actually make the surplus milk into milk and supply it to the people. Nobody cribs, nobody complains, everybody is willing to pay a premium. I mean, we should do the same thing for the villagers, the farmers. We have always neglected them. It's now because there are so many people committing suicide that everybody is committing it. Are they willing to commit a basic minimum price for their vegetables during the flush season, which is fair? Tomatoes were being sold at 1 rupee a kilo. The farmer turned around and put them back in his farm and plowed over them. He says, it's better to use it as fertilizer. My cost of production is 6 rupees. How can I sell it at 1 rupee? It's ridiculous that no government at any time has ever come to the rescue of farmers. Yes, they maintained the prices in cities so that where they think the vote bank is highest is to appease the middle class so that they don't think that the cost of living has gone up at the cost of the farmer.
All right. Thank you so much. The opening salvos have been fired. It's time now for the counter-attack. Let's start with you. The fact of the matter is BJP promised they will bring in reforms in the APMC Act. You promised you will get us a proper cold storage supply chain system. You promised that you will give a minimum support price to the farmers. You've barely managed to meet any of these in the last 5 years. What's the roadmap?
As far as agriculture reforms, see, whole this debate started from M.S. Swaminathan's report. all opposition parties are saying Swaminathan Commission reports should be implemented. Let me tell you who appointed Swaminathan Commission. Swaminathan Commission appointed in NDA 1. He had given his final report in 2006. In 2004, UPA 1 came to power. From 2006 to 2014, they have not implemented the single Swaminathan Commission's recommendation.
But
I will
neither
tell
did
you, I
you.
will tell you. Anybody can right now Google,
Tanvi, can I
and
come
they
in
will
now? I mean-
they will come to article written by Swaminathan himself in Times of India 4 or 5 months back, and M.S. Swaminathan has stated in his own article in Times of India, my recommendations are implemented none other than Narendra Modi government.
Why
So-
is the farmer killing himself, and why is the farmer dumping their produce because he's getting 10 paisa per quintal?
See, I will tell you, in Maharashtra, we are in power.
Correct.
We implemented all recommendations. So you have to dismantle APMC Act, which was nothing but the source of income for few crony capitalists or crony so-called leaders of the farmers. You go to the record of assembly and council, for each and every reform which we have done in APMC Act, Congress and Rashtravadi, they both opposed tooth and nail.
Okay, but I
So-
just want to
so
point
now
out here,
I will-
Mr.
So let
Bhatkalkar.
me complete. Let me
Okay.
complete. So in our manifesto, we have said so many things, and you go by the record. We already implemented MSP cost plus 50%,
All lies,
which
all
we
lies.
promised.
Making announcements is different from implementing
No, no,
it.
no, no.
You are talking about dismantling the APMC, the reforms that you say you have implemented in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
I can tell you, every 3 months, a Mirror Now reporter goes on ground, starts from the village, from the farming
I am
land,
not saying
and
I am not
tracks
saying
it
that-
back to
See-
the consumer in Mumbai who's buying those vegetables. There is a stark difference in the price that is being sold there
Who
and
is
the price
refusing
that we are paying here.
Who is refusing that? The
So
issue
what was the
is
point? You didn't
whether
solve any problem.
Issue is that whether you should blame for only to the BJP government.
The
As
BJP
as
government
Prahlad
has
Thakur
been in
rightly
power
said,
in this
These are the
state.
issues of last 50 years, 60 years.
The BJP government
so we
has
are
been
not
in
the
power in
pioneer
this
of these
state
issues.
and center for 5 years.
Yes, so if you want that in 5 years we should undone everything what Congress has wrongly done in last 50 years.
You heard what
Just a
BJP
minute.
has to say.
Just a minute.
In their manifesto, they have a plan for doubling the farmers' income. They have a plan for pension for the small and marginal farmers. They have a plan to give them short-term agricultural loans with 0% interest for 5 years. They have an irrigation project plan. That these are ideas
We
that
already
help
started
you.
Pradhan Mantri Kisi Sinchan Yojana.
correct.
Tanvi,
But
are you
Let
gonna
me
have-
1 minute,
Are
1
you
minute.
having a debate only with him, or am I going
No,
to get a
this is
chance
to you.
speak?
This
Yeah,
is to
right,
you.
yeah.
These are policies that will help you at one point empower the farmer. Your farm plan
No, I-
talks
I know my
about
farm plan. Let me
Kisan
tell that.
budget and loan waivers.
Let
When
me-
will we move beyond that?
Now look at the UPA track record. I don't think my friend has read the data. 10 years of UPA has seen the highest GDP growth rate of over 8% on average. And we lifted 270 million people out of poverty. Now, barring China, no country has ever achieved this kind of distinction. It is a success of the Dr. Manmohan Singh government. Now, to answer your question on agriculture, Nyay is a game changer. You see, they have no answer to Nyay. Tanvi, look at the difference. We are guaranteeing, because this money is available, it is available, by the way, to every household in India, that's 20% of household in India, कि आपके in the lady or the woman who's going to be the head of the family will get 6,000 rupees a month guaranteed. Look at them. Look at the arrogance of this party. They're saying to the farmers who have committed suicide, the data on farmer suicide has been smothered. They are not letting the people of India know how many people have died. Why? किस बात का डर है आपके पास? और 72,000 और 6,000 में क्या बढ़ा है वो भारत के लोग जानते हैं.
Let's get the citizens' voice in.
But
And then we can get you to respond to that.
But bunch of lie. What
I
you
am
said.
horrified. I am horrified at the way the political parties are talking. Not one word has been talked of transparency. Not one word on accountability. They are talking
You're
of
wrong.
making. Please let me speak.
Yeah?
Not one word on how they will handle transparency, how they'll become accountable, nothing. Institutions have been destroyed in India, most institutions, which are checks and balance of democracy, Minority Commission, Human Rights Commission, Information Commissions, Lokayogs. They don't deliver at all because the way they are selected is completely arbitrary. And both political parties are equally guilty of this. They are not willing to set up a transparent process of selection of these people, which are our checks and balance of democracy. CBI has been destroyed. Whoever it is.
Ask him. Ask him. What do you mean whoever it is? Ask him.
Earlier,
During your era, CBI was called a caged parrot, Sanjay Jha. I don't think anybody has a higher moral ground on that.
Forget CBI. After Supreme Court decision,
One minute.
Just a minute.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
after in coal scam, Supreme Court.
One minute.
Just a minute.
आपने किया
BJP and Congress.
हमने जिंदा किया.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let the citizen
आपने
finish.
केश पैरेट किया.
संजय झा जी एंड अतुल जी,
जुमले चलेंगे नहीं, इसके लिए
ये
आपको भागना
वोटर की
पड़ेगा
बात
अभी.
सुन लीजिए. यही लोग वोट देने वाले हैं आपको. हमेशा सिटीजन की बात सुननी चाहिए. The responsibility of the political parties is to listen to the
ये
citizens.
सिर्फ इलेक्शन
वो
के
अभी
टाइम
भी
पे
नहीं सुन
सुनते
रहे.
हैं. सीबीआई को पहली गवर्नमेंट ने केज पैरेट बना दिया, दूसरी सरकार ने तो खत्म ही कर दिया. मतलब सीबीआई के अफसर ही सब करप्ट होने लगे, डायरेक्टर करप्ट, उसके नीचे के
I'll give you time. I'll give you time to respond.
मेरी अरे भाई साहब, इलेक्शन के टाइम पे तो आप हमारी बात सुनते हैं, कम से कम आज के दिन तो सुन लीजिए. 5 साल तो बाद आप कोई नहीं सुनते हैं.
I am telling
You are
you,
not
use some
bothered.
example. That is the only thing.
Why don't
Dunia
you?
janti
Why-
hai.
Give one example.
Let me
The
give
top
you
two officials were sent out, thrown
Asana,
out of
let me
CBI
ask a very
on
simple
charges
question.
and allegations
Let
of
him
corruption.
speak.
अरे राकेश
Your
अस्थाना
government
का
did that.
उदाहरण दुनिया
let me
जानती
ask a
है.
very simple
Upheld by
question.
Supreme Court.
Let me ask a
तो ये
let me
हुआ
ask
तो
a
आपके
very
समय
simple
में.
question.
Okay.
Donations to
सवाल क्या
political
है?
parties.
Yes.
Our decision was
Donations
upheld by
to
Supreme Court.
अरे उनकी बात तो सुनिए.
Donations to political parties are mostly in black, and now we have a new laundromat called electoral bonds.
Correct.
Simple question I want to ask all of you, including a donation made in 10 rupees in cash. Why can it not be linked to an Aadhaar card? Is a question I'd like to pose before you.
Okay.
because there
Can
is-
we let him answer?
No,
that
question?
let me finish.
Good question.
Let me
Good
finish.
question.
There is an election expenditure limit for a party member, for a party candidate of 70 lakh rupees. It is almost universally known that all serious candidates spent upward of 5 crore rupees. Not one of them mentions it because they want the black economy to continue. They want illegal things to continue. They do not want to be accountable. Instead of which, why can't we admit the truth in India that no limit works, but we will hold you accountable for whatever you
Salish,
spend.
let me answer your
Which
question.
is not happening. Every lawmaker
I'm
in the
answering your
country-
question.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Every lawmaker who starts his career in our country starts by breaking the law. And I don't blame only the political class. All of us are to blame. Why are we tolerating a big national lie for decades where everyone who wants to represent me will have to lie, will have to resort to black market? And if any of these people say that that's not true, I'm sorry, but that would not be true at all.
Okay.
Can I answer this question
Yes.
very quickly? Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Mr. Modi has introduced something called as electoral bonds, which I think is nothing, Tanvi, but a substitute for money laundering and black money into campaign finance. And they have made it legal. They're saying that supposing a corporate donates to the BJP, the name of the corporate will be kept anonymous. Why? They have also removed the cap as to how much a company can donate. So the earlier cap was not more than 7.5% of the profit. Now they have removed the cap. So somebody can create a shell company and give 100% to the BJP. The BJP, ladies and gentlemen, has got
even the Congress, for that matter.
95% of the electoral bonds money has gone to the BJP. And Congress party is committed in the manifesto. And Shailesh, I want to reassure you, we will abolish the electoral bonds.
There were 20 electoral bonds found in an income tax
I'm answering
raid
you.
that was found
I'm answering
in
you.
Madhya Pradesh.
I'm answering you.
The allegation against your party is that these electoral bonds were being used by a middleman to siphon off money from the state government coffers for your party for election campaigning, and that is black money that
I'm
is
answering
being
your
converted
question.
into white.
I'm answering your question.
Yes.
It's
Have you
very
cracked the
simple
code?
answer. Everybody knows, including the Election Commission, that these were politically motivated investigations. But the bigger point, the BJP went to the government of India. Guess what the BJP says? The BJP says the people of India, which means you, the viewers, don't have a right to know. They have said it publicly to the court that the people of India don't have a right to know as to who funds the political parties. I think that is a fraud. That is an insult to democracy. That is an
Okay.
insult to your fundamental right.
Well,
We
the
will abolish
investigation on
electoral
that is
bonds.
on, but I think
Ask
the
him,
Congress
why are
party
you
is
hiding people?
answerable. Why are you using electoral bonds
all
right
political
now?
donations to the Aadhaar card, including 10
Absolutely.
rupees?
Absolutely. And I'm taking it a step forward.
Abolish electoral
The Congress
bonds.
party will look at the prospect of disclosing, putting all election funding under RTI. The election funding under RTI.
which they have
Ask
done
him
in
if he
last
can do
60
it.
years.
Ask him if he can do it.
No, no, no,
अरे अभी
हाँ,
की बात
done
करो.
it.
अरे अभी के लिए पहले की बात
Both
करो
your
ना.
parties are defying
records
the
are
law.
very important.
As far as RTI is concerned, you
He
are
is
defying
ducking
the
the
Information
issue, he is
Commission's
dodging the
order.
issue.
All the farmer loans that you guys have waived very casually because that was your manifesto. After 1 week of coming in, किसका पैसा है वो?
जवाब दूं?
Whose money is it?
जवाब दूं?
No, I'm asking the public here.
अरे
किसका पैसा है ये? Correct. इनने एक ढेला भी अपने पॉकेट से निकाला क्या?
The point is, when they are dying and killing themselves, you need to give them immediate relief. आपने पैसा दिया, पर ये situation आई क्यों? वो आज अपने को क्यों मार रहा है? वो पिछले 50 साल 60 साल से क्यों किसान नहीं उठ पा रहा है?
एक irrigation
आपकी
scheme
क्या
नहीं किया इनने।
पॉलिसी थी जो इरिगेशन की हो, फर्टिलाइजर्स की हो, सपोर्ट सिस्टम की हो? आप कह रहे हैं अब न्याय गेम चेंजर बन जाएगा, बट यू आर एसेंशियली ओनली गिविंग देम मनी इन देयर हैंड्स. हाउ आर यू स्ट्रेंथनिंग द फार्मर फॉर हिज फार्मिंग?
न्याय मीन्स लटका दो सबको. न्याय मीन्स लटका दो सबको.
भारत के सारे दर्शक जो ये प्रोग्राम सुन रहे हैं, एक मिनट यहाँ पर देखिए कितनी दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण और शर्मनाक है. इट इज सो डिप्रेसिंग एंड डिस्गस्टिंग that here you have people who mock the farmers. Let me give an example, Mr. Kakkar, hear me out. आपको मालूम है भारत के लोग and all the दर्शक of this program कि आज के अखबार में ये खबर आया है कि पिछले 4 साल में इस सरकार ने, मोदी सरकार ने हमारे बड़े बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स का 7 लाख करोड़ पैसा बिल्कुल उनको दान दिया है. 7 लाख करोड़. आज हमारा एनपीए 12 लाख करोड़ बढ़ चुका है. ये जब जाते हैं बड़े बड़े उद्योगपति जो भाजपा के मित्र हैं, उनके पॉकेट में तो इनको कोई दर्द नहीं होता, लेकिन हमारे गरीब किसान जो मर रहे हैं, जो ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में हैं, जो टीवी नहीं देख पाते हैं,
तो
उनके
आपने
लिए
क्यों नहीं
if the
पैसा
some
दिया?
assistance is given,
NPA
तब इनको
Why
बड़ा
do you
बुरा
take out the
लगता
party
है.
funds?
He is, by the way, let me tell you, Mr.
2014
Kakkar,
के
money
बाद
from your pocket.
बैंक ने
just 1 minute. I'm asking this
took
question.
our money.
Just 1 minute. This is
you
to
are
Mr.
talking
Kakkar,
so
not
much
to you,
lie.
not to you, not to you. Mr. Kakkar, I want to ask you a
our
question.
money. You took
Do
my
you
tax
have
money.
any shame?
Not at all.
Do you have any shame?
Do you have any
that
shame?
you are defending corporates who have
Do
looted
you have
India?
any shame
Do you have
that
any
you
shame?
took my money
Do you have any shame?
and took
That
credit for it?
corporates of
Looted
India
in
have
their
looted
tenure.
India,
Bullshit.
and you are okay with that?
Bullshit.
Farmers को कुछ पैसे मिले तो इनको बुरा लगता है,
हाँ.
लेकिन बड़े-बड़े उद्योगपति
बुरा
को
नहीं
पैसे
लगता.
मिलते हैं,
अगर
तो
हमें
ये
farmers को
अंग्रेजी
देना है,
बोलने
हम खुद
वाले
देंगे.
लोगों को अच्छा लगता है.
पहला
क्या बात
पहला
है?
Okay,
पहला
अब
इस बात का
okay.
क्या
जब
बात है?
50 बरस के बाद तुम्हारा रूल होने के बाद फार्मर
अरे
की
कुछ
ये
तो
स्थिति
शर्म
आई
रखो
क्यों?
यार.
इसका जवाब पहले दो.
अरे पहले तो इनको
50
देखिए.
बरस आपने राज्य किया.
अरे यार,
आप
पंडित
हमारा
नेहरू जी ने
पैसा
बताया
लेके
गरीबी हटाओ.
आपने तो मोदी
इंदिरा जी ने बताया गरीबी हटाओ.
छोटा मोदी,
सोनिया जी ने
अनिल
बताया
अंबानी
गरीबी
को
हटाओ.
पैसे दिए हैं.
अभी राहुल जी बोल रहे हैं गरीबी हटाओ.
चौकीदार
आपने किया
चोर है,
क्या
सब
50
जानता
बरस
है.
में देश के किसान के
चोर है,
लिए?
ये सब जानता
ये बताइए
है.
आप.
Okay, okay, let's
और
let's
इसके
all
लिए
take a deep breath.
आपने कुछ किया नहीं
I
है.
think we need
ये
to take a
लोगों को
deep breath.
मालूम है, मैं आपको
There
बोलता
is
हूँ.
one other important issue that matters, I think, a lot to also citizens who are sitting here.
And
Yes,
because
Mr.
of
Gandhi.
phone banking, NPA increased.
एक
Not
last-
because of India too.
ट्रांसपेरेंसी पे तो जवाब नहीं मिला मुझे, कोई सेटिस्फैक्ट्री ना गवर्नेंस पे मिला, मगर एक छोटी सी और बात कह देता हूं. विमेन इन पार्लियामेंट एंड इलेक्टेड पोजीशंस, हम बात करते हैं, हम विमेन को बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करते हैं, बहुत अहमियत देते हैं, वगैरह वगैरह. दुनिया में मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट कितने होते हैं विमेन, इसका लिस्ट मैं देख रहा था. अफगानिस्तान में 27%, चाइना में 25%, सिंगापुर 23%, बांग्लादेश 21%, सऊदी अरेबिया 20%, पाकिस्तान 20%, इंडिया is a mere 13%. This is a consequence of the political parties' two-faced stories, of all political parties, not one. They keep talking of women's empowerment.
They vetoed it.
Forget. Why don't they give seats to women?
We have.
Why do we have
We
to be one of the
have.
worst countries in the world in
We-
terms of women
in current
representation?
Shailesh, we
election,
told Narendra
out
Modi
of
government
23,
we will
we have
back you on
6.
One at a
33
time, one at a time,
minute.
one at a time.
1 minute.
Let's start with Mr. Barkalkar.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
the
in,
government party
this
in
election,
power right now.
in Maharashtra, out
Yes.
of 25
Ask him on women's
seats,
reservation.
we have given 6 tickets to women. So, see, this is a
What is your national up सब candidate list almost आ चुकी है. आप मुझे बताइए आपका national percentage क्या है?
I'm not saying that.
Is it more than 15%? No, sir, it's not.
I know that.
Why?
See, all political parties, when they contest election, we try to give women more representation.
I think that is not true.
Data
That is
is-
not true for any political party.
I am saying we are trying
I will answer.
every time.
Why don't you start at home? Why don't you lead by example? Why didn't you give more tickets to women this time?
I'll answer that. Let me tell you that already in the Congress party, in all our internal organizations like All India Professional Congress that I lead, we are already having 33% representation being given to women. Already, we are walking the talk. I want to give you, I want to give you one example. And
We have done that in
just-
85.
Just 1 minute. This is a serious issue. We told the Narendra Modi government, Tanvi, you know it, it's in the public domain. Mr. Rahul Gandhi wrote to the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and told him, please bring the women's reservation bill, which we had shepherded, but we could not because we didn't have the majority. And we said, please bring it in parliament. The Congress party will support you. Guess what?
Why do you need a bill?
No,
Why
1
don't you
minute.
do it yourself?
1 minute, 1 minute. Narendra Modi's
But
government did not pass
UPA
it.
government has no majority.
अरे, एक मिनट यार, हमने मोदी जी की सरकार को हाथ जोड़ के कहा, आप ये बिल को जरा लाइए, महिला आरक्षण बिल, हम आपको पूरा समर्थन
आपको
देंगे.
बिल क्यों
They
चाहिए?
did not.
आप
No.
खुद से क्यों
I'll
नहीं
tell you.
करते?
No, 1 minute.
BJP
आप
has
खुद
done
नहीं
it.
करेंगे।
TMC has done it. Why doesn't the Congress
No,
party
एक
do
मिनट,
it?
मेरी बात तो सुनिए.
BJP
अब
is
हमने
our BJP's
अब-
constitution.
अरे मेरी
This
बात
is the
तो
rule.
सुनिए, बात तो सुनिए.
30% posts should be
हाँ,
occupied by
हाँ.
women.
बेटी
And
बेटी
you are doing it
बचाओ,
right now?
बेटी
In 10 years, you
बचाओ,
have not
बेटी
introduced women
पढ़ाओ
reservation bill?
is the biggest fraud slogan in Unnao. A woman was raped by a BJP leader.
What
and
about
the
Nirbhaya?
BJP went and
Where are
protected
we
him.
going with this?
And the
Garibi
BJP
Hatao
protected
is
him.
the
It's a
biggest
fact.
fraud statement
It's a
I've ever
fact.
heard.
Yes.
It's a fact.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I can tell you
I
the-
have one question.
The Congress party guarantees reservation not just in parliament, but even in central government jobs and equal wages for men and women. These are all there in
All
the
the
manifesto.
promises, all
Sexual
promises.
harassment at
All
the workplace.
promises.
Promises.
All on
All
paper.
organizations.
One place
Yeah,
where
you
You have
Congress
not
party.
used Nirbhaya fund.
आप तो जो अरे
After Nirbhaya,
ओए
central
I
government
think Tanvi, you need to tell him
allocated
that.
1,000 crore, not
You
a
need to
single
tell him
pay
that.
was utilized.
That is your data.
Our government used Nirbhaya fund.
All
Okay,
wrong.
we are going to take a short breather. Everybody can take
To amend the
a
law,
quick
you
break
required
here.
Nirbhaya to happen
Take
in
a
this
deep
country.
breath, have a couple of sips of water. Short break. On the other side is face the water round. And we'll have some questions from the audience, so stay tuned. Welcome back. It's time for our interaction with the audience. It's time to face the voter one more time. You start.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम इहाब है और मैं जर्नलिज्म का स्टूडेंट हूँ। मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूँ कि मैं ना राइट का समर्थक हूँ ना लेफ्ट का समर्थक हूँ। मैं एज अ नागरिक, एज अ फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर, मेरा सीधा सा सवाल है, मुझे जलेबी खाने का शौक नहीं है। मैं सीधा सवाल कर रहा हूँ बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता से, आरबीआई, सीबीआई और जजेस, इन जजेस को, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस को सड़क पे आके इंटरव्यू देके सिर्फ डेमोक्रेसी का नारा क्यों लगाना पड़ा? पहला सवाल। दूसरा सवाल, जब आपके राज्यसभा एमपी सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी खुद बोलते हैं कि कल के इंटरव्यू में उन्होंने बोला है कि डिमोनेटाइजेशन के लिए आरबीआई रेडी नहीं था, फिर भी तुम लोगों ने इंप्लीमेंट किया। व्हाई डिड यू ट्रीट द इंडियन पॉपुलेशन एज द केमिस्ट्री लैब टेस्ट?
Okay, thank you so much. Two questions there. One on the institution.
पहली बात तो ऐसी है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस ने जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस ली वो सरकार के खिलाफ नहीं थी, उसका सरकार से कुछ लेना देना भी नहीं था। उस समय के चीफ जस्टिस जो भी थे उनके खिलाफ उनके कोई इश्यूज थे। जिन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस ली उसमें से एक जज सुप्रीम कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस हमारे टेन्योर में बने हैं। हमने कोई उनको हमने बनाया ऐसा नहीं, जो नॉर्म्स थे वो दैट नॉर्म्स वी फॉलोज। मैं इतना ही आपको स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूँ। अदरवाइज जैसा इंदिरा जी ने सुपरसीड किया 73 में, वैसा हम करने का प्रयास कर सकते थे, लेकिन हमने वो किया नहीं, क्योंकि वी हैव फुल फेथ इन डेमोक्रेसी, वी हैव फुल फेथ इन द ऑल द इंस्टीट्यूशंस। जहाँ
second
तक
question.
डिमोनेटाइजेशन का जो विषय है, डिमोनेटाइजेशन का निर्णय आरबीआई के बोर्ड ने लिया, ये फैक्ट है. आरबीआई को तत्कालीन गवर्नमेंट ने कंसल्ट किया था. सी यू गो थ्रू द इवन बुक ऑफ रघुराम राजन, आई कैन डू व्हाट आई डू. उसमें उन्होंने लिखा है कि मुझे सरकार ने मेरे को कंसल्ट किया है. दैट टाइम ही वाज आरबीआई गवर्नर. सो विदाउट कंसल्टेशन किया, ये सच नहीं है.
अविनाश अभ्यंकर बोल रहा हूँ. मुझे आपसे एक क्वेश्चन था कि अभी आपका जो 72,000 पर ईयर का जो है, ये परमानेंट लाइफ टाइम चलने वाला है क्या? कि क्या और आपके पास कुछ मशीनरी है क्या कि गरीब है ना कौन एग्जैक्टली?
तो इसका मैं आपको जवाब देना चाहूँगा कि भारत में अभी डेटा है कि कितने लोग गरीबी रेखा से नीचे हैं. तो लगभग वो 20 से 22% लोग उसके नीचे हैं. हम कह रहे हैं कि जैसे आप वहाँ पर 6,000 रुपये महीने सबको देंगे, 72,000 इन अ ईयर, दे विल ऑल कम अबव द पॉवर्टी लाइन. देखिए, ये हमारा ये वादा है कि 2030 से पहले भारत में कोई भी घर, कोई भी व्यक्ति गरीब न हो. आपका जो प्रश्न है कि भविष्य में कब तक चलेगा, कि देखिए, भारत में प्रगति होगी, हमारा जीडीपी बढ़ेगा, अब सब लोग थोड़े देर में सबकी ज़िंदगी सुधरती है, तो लोग के खाने के और के जो पदार्थ होंगे, घर बड़ा होगा. तो इस तरीके से वो जो परसेंटेज है आपका जीडीपी का, वो धीरे धीरे अभी 1.8% है, वो धीरे धीरे करके 0 to 0.5% तक आ जाएगा. तो हम, और तब तक आपका जो एक तरीके से सामाजिक कल्याण का जो आपका बजट है, फिर आप उसको स्वास्थ्य में, जहां पर हमने बजट को दुगना करके 6% कर रहे हैं, 3% कर रहे हैं, हमने एजुकेशन को 6% कर रहे हैं. देखिए ये सब देश को आगे
Okay. One at a time.
कांग्रेस पार्टी आम आदमी की पार्टी है, ये लोग खास आदमी के.
One at a time. I want to.
आम आदमी की डेफिनेशन है रॉबर्ट वधेरा. मैं आपको 2 मिनट.
अनिल अंबानी.
आम आदमी की पार्टी है ना, रॉबर्ट वधेरा की पार्टी.
अनिल अंबानी है आपकी
फैमिली पार्टी.
अनिल अंबानी आपके
पार्टी.
I am a student of the University of Mumbai. 1 year ago, 4,000 papers went missing in the university.
That's right.
And even the Congress government as well as the BJP government have never focused on education. Right now also, I've been here for 1 hour and there has been no discussion on education at all. And the environment. Both the parties. This only becomes rhetoric, political rhetoric, and just to win votes from the people. It is a political rhetoric.
Why
Sir, I'm
is
extremely
education
sorry.
not your election agenda?
2016 national education policy by the BJP government.
I'll answer.
There is no implementation. It is in draft. It is a draft policy. And the environment, if you see, there is a car shed being constructed at RA. There is also a coastal road. It does not matter, but at least takes the citizens' consideration. Let us at least hear us. Yeah. What do you want to say?
Okay, let me answer your
It does
question.
matter.
Okay, let me answer your question.
matter.
Yeah, let me answer your question. Just 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
Just a very valid question. I can tell you, here is a commitment from the Congress Party. We have said it in our manifesto. We will increase, this will be the first government in India's history that is going to make the education budget 6%. 6% of India's GDP. Okay, 1 minute, it's going to happen for the first time. Point number 2, please ask him, because his government was in power when the university admissions and results were complete mess. Let them answer. Third, under their time, you're hearing this rubbish. Internet in the time of Mahabharat. Prime Minister says plastic surgery in the Vedic ages. They talk about Charles Darwin theory of evolution is not right because nobody saw an ape becoming a human. They're anti-science, they're anti-technology, they're anti-intellectuals. They're taking India back, and you, the young, need to fight for it. And therefore, I want to tell you, during Modi's time, 20 of the most polluted cities are in India. Can you believe it?
They didn't get polluted overnight, Sanjay Jha.
Over the last 5 years, it's got from, if it was not good, it's become terrible now.
the whole country. What about 20 cities?
Okay, do you want to respond on education and environment? Yes, your response. Go ahead,
Lynching
please.
के बारे में बात करें क्या? Lynching के बारे में बात करें?
University comes under Chancellor Kulaguru. He appointed immediately one committee. I myself raised.
Committee.
Let me complete.
हाँ. अरे नेहरू को ये आलोचना कीजिए ना. Nehru's fault.
Attention in assembly. He was removed, and now Chancellor has appointed new Vice Chancellor in Mumbai University. Everything is. I am not going to say that whatever happened in his tenure is correct, but he was punished for that, and inquiry is going on against him also. So that issue is over. As far as car shed and everything is concerned, there was a suggestion, objection, and as I said, the CRZ, car shed, or all infrastructure projects, we have done lot of things for Mumbai. There are
कमला फायर का क्या किया आपने?
environment that people are talking about right now.
I don't think so, because whatever,
And the
see, car shed is started after the permission of Environment Ministry. We have taken all permissions.
Forest
and
covers
metro,
have gone.
But
metro
let's
is
just-
Forest covers have gone in
metro
running
is
out
India.
of
equally
time.
required.
I have a question
Let
for
me
our
complete.
audience.
Metro is equally required.
I have a question
for
for
the
our
city
audience.
like Mumbai.
Okay, Mr.
So
Atul.
when people raise objection that car shed should not be in RA colony, we set up one committee by MMRDA. We check whether alternate places are available. All, but let me complete. Expert committee has given report to the state government. No alternate place should be feasible. Is not feasible, and ultimately
All
we have taken
lies,
decision
all lies,
that
Okay,
car
all
shed
right.
should be
all lies.
allowed in RA colony, and at that also with the permission.
Here
of
is a simple
Environment
question for the audience. By a show of hands, if you agree with me, by a show of hands, tell me, do you believe that your government and political parties have failed in protecting the environment? Raise your hand. Yes, yes. This is to show to the political parties, stop your rhetoric, focus on the real issue. The real issue
A lot
is
needs
this.
to be done. I agree
Clean
with you.
air, clean water, save our forests. That is the point. The lady in the front wanted to ask a question.
Modi government has started scheme.
You have a question? Go ahead, please. You wanted to ask a question.
Hello, sir. I'm from Mumbai itself and a first-time voter. My question is to both the parties present here. And assuming the fact that both the parties will answer my question straight, my question is on Mahul people, as we all know that how much struggle they are facing currently. So what are the future plans both the parties have after they will be coming in power? I don't know will BJP is the one who will be coming in power or Congress, but then what are your future plans regarding the citizens of Mahul? Yeah.
Okay.
See, Mahul issue is not related with the central government. It is related with the state government. We have, when
सुन तो लीजिए, जवाब सुन लीजिए, जवाब
Mahul
सुन लीजिए.
education, when started,
जवाब सुनिए.
see, Mahul rehab building was constructed 10 years before, not today. क्या? No, you are wrong. You are wrong. Let me complete.
मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है आपका एंगर क्यों, गुस्सा क्यों है. I can understand why you are angry. I can understand why you are angry. But there is no point in sitting here and heckling one person. There is no point. You have made your point. You have shown your anger. You have shown your anger. महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट से आप भी जानते हैं, रोज हम ये सवाल पूछते हैं माहौल के बारे में. हमने जितनी डिबेट की, आप फॉलो करेंगे कोर्ट ऑर्डर?
Yeah, we have to follow. We will
कोई
follow the
ऑप्शन
court
नहीं है आपके
order.
पास.
And
ये
as I
लोग जब
said,
तक कोर्ट नहीं
when
आता है, ये कुछ नहीं
environment
करते
committee
हैं.
report has come.
जब तक
that
कोर्ट नहीं
Mahul
बोलेगा, ये
residence
सरकार कुछ नहीं
is not
करेगी.
inhabitable. We stop there. Rehabilitation
okay.
of another PAP.
Let's. This is a good point to come back to our citizens on stage. I need to wrap this up. Closing comments, Mr. Kakkar. You and then Shailesh Gandhi. We can give us your closing comments. Key issues that you think are still missing from the radar of our politicians.
No, the key issue is transparency and environment, actually. And they're going to become very, very big in the future. Today, because the last monsoon failed, we don't have drinking water. So in the next 1 month, we're going to have to evacuate 1/3 of the city. They will not get water to drink. And water is life. So the lakes are down to 20% of the lowest that they've been in the last 10 years. So that is a part of the environment issue. So we don't realize that forests are connected to water. That जो हम पानी पीते हैं वो जंगल से आती है. अगर हम पेड़ काट देंगे और डेवलपमेंट करेंगे और कार शेड बनाएंगे तो कार शेड से पानी थोड़ी मिलेगा हमें. अगर हम आरे के पेड़ काट देंगे तो जो पानी उधर से मिल रहा है, जो पेड़ produces the water from its roots, we will stop having even that. So whatever rains that we have are going to be a change. The climate change is going to be so vast that farmers are not going to know कब आने वाली है बारिश, कब नहीं आने वाली है. पिछले 40 साल से they at least knew that अभी मानसून आएगा ये बो. अभी मानसून आएगा 2 दिन के लिए फिर रुक जाएगा 1 महीने के लिए सब कुछ रुक जाएगा. It is highly erratic and that is all to do with the environment. And I think politically no party is actually giving the environment the kind of priority that it needs, because it's a matter, it's a grave matter of air and water, which is life. Without that, there is no life.
Correct. Mr. Shailesh Gandhi, one issue that also never makes it to the election agenda is infrastructure. Look at the city where we live in right now. It's literally collapsing and crumbling. Yet you don't hear politicians talk about it.
I completely agree. We are not looking at the more fundamental issues that matter to citizens. And I was reasonably disappointed because I did not see them addressing how institutions will be made better. Institutions have been ruined. And if we continue ruining institutions, we will not get better governance. There is no way. If you do not get transparency, there is no way. Right now, the prevailing culture appears to be municipal commissioners of all places around Mumbai and in Mumbai are saying citizens who file RTI applications or complaints are blackmailers and unnecessary. They would rather have cities without people. That appears to be the thing. But beyond all this bickering, beyond all of this, what pains me really is one side calls the other side chore, the other side calls the others traitors. I have not discovered so many traitors in India in my entire lifetime as I have discovered in the last few years. And we need to...
This is the message that the political parties need to take. Listen to the citizen. Listen to the voter. हमें आपका rhetoric नहीं चाहिए, ना religion पे, ना caste पे, ना nationalism पे, ना patriotism पे, ना चौकीदारी पे, ना चोरपन पे. हमें किसी पे भी नहीं चाहिए. हमें आपसे ये सुनना है कि आप education के लिए, environment के लिए, health के लिए, farmers के लिए, job creation के लिए, employment के लिए, startups के लिए, business के लिए क्या करने वाले. Unfortunately, that completely goes on the back burner as an election issue. And I think it is your responsibility as well. Like you have come here today and you have taken a stand on environment, you've taken a stand on education, you've taken a stand to question your neta. That is what you should do when you vote. That is what you should do when they come to ask you for your vote, when they campaign in your constituency. Tell them nothing else matters but your agenda. Make them listen to you, and if they don't, vote accordingly. Thank you so much, everybody who came here. Thank you to our panelists for joining us.